get this room set up. All right, cool. Let's get this room set up real quick. Fix this. Set this up right here. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm setting up this room real quick, and then we can get started with the weekly chart analysis. I've been following the market. It's been kind of slow this evening, which is normal Sunday. Market hasn't fully opened yet, so we'll see if we can catch some trades this evening. If not, I'm just gonna mark up the charts, see if we find anything. If not, then we'll just move on, and we'll try to catch some trades right before London open. If not, tomorrow morning. So let me just finish posting this link up. I'm getting a bunch of messages from you guys right now asking for the link. So let's see. I got that set up right there. I'll just get this link out to you guys shortly. Just give me 1 second and let me finish getting everything set up right here, and then we should be good to go. So I did mark this up. I didn't take this trade, but I'm just marking it up to see if the trades are hitting right now. If they are, then I'll possibly hop into some, but I'm just getting everything set up right now. So let me just get everything going. Hey, Dennis, how's it going, bro? Happy Sunday. Yeah, Monday to some people over here. So let me just get this link out to you guys since a lot of people are asking, and then we should be good to go. All right, weekly chart analysis. All right. So I'll send over to you guys right here. Sent over to the public groups, and let me get you guys a Zoom link as well for you guys here in the premium. So let me get you guys that sent out as well. Rick just messaging right now. You guys know Rick. Let me just get this to you guys as well, the Zoom link, and then we should be good. I got you guys that Zoom link for you guys there in the premium. Let me just post this link up to our social media real quick, and then we should be good to go. So let's get this sent out to the emails. Ready? Let's get this going right here. I'm gonna let you guys make your way into the room real quick before we actually get started with anything. This link sent out right there. The rest of our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. We should be good. All right, got this posted up right there. Oops. Copy that. Send this to the Instagram. Swipe up one right there. All right. So one last place to Facebook, and I think we're good to go. So I did mark this trade up right here, guys. I didn't take this trade. I don't think I'm going to take any trades today. I'm going to keep doing what I was doing previously. I'm going to stop taking risky trades. Trading on Sunday, trading on Friday. There's really no point in me trading those days because I make enough profit early on in the week. So there's like really no reason for me to hop into these risky trades. I started to realize that I started taking too many risky trades. And then I started giving away most of my profits that I made during, well, not all of them, but obviously a lot of the profits that I made early on in the week. So if I see something really good, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to be testing some trades here. If I see them hit, then yeah, the market's going to, confirm that it's actually moving pretty decently. But right now the market's just moving really slow. So there's really no point in me hopping into, risky trades that are really unnecessary, that are really not necessary to, excel our total profit margin for the week. Because I started to notice, not just me, with like other people too, they would make a lot of profit with me like Monday, Tuesday, and then they trade on Friday and they lose a lot of their profit, either because they over leverage or they try to overtrade, or it's usually revenge trading, right? Like someone will have like one loss on Friday and then they try to double up on the next one and they end up losing that. And I was like, if you just kept the same lot size, then you probably would have been fine. Or if you just would have just not traded on Friday, you would have been doing even better. So I'm going to listen to my own advice, and I'm probably going to hold off on Sunday and Friday, but I'll try to give you guys some trades if I do see something good. So I have this marked up right here. I'm not in this trade, but if it does hit, then, obviously it's going to confirm that the market's finally moving smoothly as the week starts out. So let me just check the chat real quick. Hey, Dennis. Hey, John, how's it going? Nick said, or lower the lot size to keep yourself in check. Exactly, Nick. Yeah. So that's what I did last Friday. Last Friday we had one loss. I took a very small lot size. So I was just in it because I wanted to join in to these trades with you guys. And that's one thing that you can do. Just take a smaller lot size. But, in reality, it's really hard to do that when you see all these other people winning, because we did have a ton of profits last Friday. If I look at the profits here from Friday, so let's see. Today is the 18th. So Friday was on the 16th. There was actually a lot of profits that were made on Friday. Ken over here made in about 744. Spencer made about 686. Gal over here locked in about 67. So a lot of people actually did really good on Friday. I only took one trade and I had one loss, which wasn't that bad. It was a small loss. But looking at everyone else here, they did pretty good. So, overall, if you guys were using different strategies or trading different assets, you guys could have done pretty well. I only took one US 30 trade, and unfortunately, my stop loss was just a little too close, and I ended up getting kicked out. But everyone else did pretty good. CT made about 3,000 on Friday. David over here made about 800. Funky over here made about 158 pounds. She trades in pounds. So overall, people did good. So there's no, I'm not discouraging you guys from trading on Sundays and Friday. I'm just saying, if you guys want to trade on those days, either lower your lot size or be a little more careful, because you just don't want to throw away profits that you made early on into the week. So let me go ahead and see what we got over here. I have this marked up right here. This is using one of Josh's new strategies. I haven't introduced this to you guys yet, but it's something that I'm probably going to be introducing to you guys once I wonder my dog's barking at. I don't know if you guys can hear him. All right, let's see. Yeah, but this is one of the new strategies that we're working on, me and Josh. Obviously Josh, he created the 3-minute strategy. This is another one that we're looking at. It seems like everyone has like a new strategy every day, which is great because we have options, right? If you guys, I don't know, DJ, if you're in here, but he's been killing it. He's been actually applying the 10-minute for Confluent to 10-minute, the 3-minute, Josh's 3-minute, and also the new one that we've been working on here all together. So he's been stacking positions and like locking in a ton of profits. That's not something that I recommend, everybody do. If you're familiar with it and you guys are comfortable with it, then yeah, obviously you guys can do it. But yeah, DJ messaged me. You guys are probably familiar with DJ. He was in the group. He was really active last year, but then now he's just been trading on his own behind the scenes, and he's been doing really well. He's been sitting in on these live sessions, but he was focused. And I'll probably introduce it to you guys, because then everyone can start to apply the same things that he's applying, because obviously it works. But obviously it's going to take some time for us to think about that. Hey, morning, Hamizan. Nice. Nick said 76 short sentiment on US 30. So this is what I kind of see happening for US 30. Let me pull up the sentiment real quick. We got 76% short. So what I think is going to happen here, Nick, I think it's going to keep dropping temporarily, right? So let me go to the 10-minute here. Yeah, my mouse battery's going to die. Where's my battery at? Yeah, so this is kind of what I see happening. And this is just from my own experience trading on Sunday, and when the sentiment is like really that high. If we go over here to the 10-minute, let's delete this right here. You can see obviously it's dropping right now, right? So I think what's going to happen here is it's probably going to drop for a bit up until like 10 p.m. my time. So it's 8 right now. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock right here. Okay. So I think this is going to keep dropping probably up until like 10 o'clock, somewhere around this time. Not dropping very far, but it's probably gonna go slowly, consolidation, but downwards. And then I think around midnight, when it hits London session, this will probably continue to drop a little bit. But then I think eventually, so it's probably going to consolidate a bit here like this. But then I think once we get closer to a US session or halfway through London, somewhere around here, 6:30. So that's New York Stock Exchange open. We'll start to see this shoot up, due to sentiment. The reason why it's not really moving much right now is because the market's not fully open. The big traders aren't in the market yet right now. It's Sunday, they're still enjoying their weekend. So I kind of see this possibly like swinging up later on. This is probably the retail traders pushing price sideways and downwards as much as they can. But once the big players come in the market, they're going to push price all the way up. It's probably going to hit the all-time high over here. I'm going to mark this up right here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the all-time high right here. And then we'll see how this ends up playing out probably by tomorrow. But I think this is what's going to happen. It's just going to go sideways for a bit. Let's see. It'll probably just go sideways from here. There you go. So I got that marked up right there. It's probably going to go around this area. And then I think eventually it's going to swing up, especially if sentiment starts to keep stacking up higher and higher. I think it's going to eventually swing up and reverse. Well, not reverse, but it's going to go opposite what everyone else is doing. It's just right now, there's not enough big players in the market right now. The London big players are going to come in around London Open right here, probably around this is going to be the first couple hours of London Open, probably around this time right here. So maybe 2 hours in, we'll start to see some actual volatility. It'll probably be slow up until this area. And then probably around here, it'll start to probably shoot up. So just keep that in mind. The market moves the same every week, especially for something like this. So this is something to keep an eye out if you guys decide to trade US 30 over here. But let's see. So the US 30 markup that I have right here, it's still playing out right now. It's currently around entry point. I'm not in this trade, but like I mentioned, I just marked it up to see how the trades are moving. This is going to be my tester. I'm going to see if this one hits. If it hits, then maybe I'll take a trade or two just to kick off the trading week with a smaller lot size. But let's see. Let's see. Demon said, let's scroll up real quick. Hey T guy, how's it going, bro? Chris is asking, how long will this live session be? It just depends on how the market's moving, Chris. Usually Sunday, our session's kind of short. It's maybe an hour, 2 hours, depending on how the market's moving. Because generally for this session, what I do during this session, if you're brand new here, Chris, I'm not sure how many sessions you've attended, but for this session, I usually just go down the watch list here, the Forex watch list, and I draw all the zones so that we can start looking for some Forex moves early on in the week. We're going to start marking stuff up so that we can catch some moves before the week starts, and we can start marking stuff up so we know what to look out for. Other than that, I also look at US 30 for some possible entries, but if you're familiar with how the market moves on Sunday, everything is just opening. So there's going to be little volatility, not really many moves for us to enter. But if we do see something, then we'll hop in. If the market picks up, maybe the session will run a little bit longer. If not, then we're probably going to close it a little early today because I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. This isn't a real session. It's just a chart markup. I'm not really looking to enter any big trades right now because there's just not much movement in the market. So this will probably be going on for maybe an hour, 2 hours, Chris. Not very long, unless something crazy in the market happens. I don't think there's even much news this week. Let's see. Yeah, the market's pretty flat. There's no news on Sunday. There's no news on Monday or Tuesday. So with no news, the market's probably going to be really slow up until Wednesday. So this session will probably be pretty short, maybe 1 or 2 hours. It doesn't take me that long to mark up all these Forex charts. It probably takes me maybe 20 or 30 minutes to mark these up. And then if I have questions, I can answer questions for you guys. So if there are questions, this will probably last a little longer. If there's no questions, obviously we'll just call it a session, and then we'll pick up tomorrow morning for market open when the US market fully opens. Because right now it's just the Aussie market and the Asia market, so it's not really going to move very much. But yeah, all right, let me see real quick. Demon said, is it going to shoot up even though the virus news around the world, bad news? Yeah, it's gonna move regardless. They don't care about COVID news, bro. If you've seen US 30, so let me just go on the 30-minute. So looking at US 30 over here, right? There's bad news ever since March of last year, right? So if we go to March of last year, let me just go to the daily actually. There's bad news all year, bro, and it doesn't matter if there's bad news or good news. Obviously, the market came down pretty heavy right here during, let's see, March, right? So this is when COVID first happened. It was it went horribly down, and then like we were in the middle of a pandemic, but look what happened with US 30. Even though we were in the middle of a pandemic, the market just shot up heavy, right? They don't really care if there's like COVID news or any of that stuff. It's you know, it's just going to keep pushing up like that. Regardless, even like same over here, you know, market kind of dropped right here because we went back into lockdown, you know, we went back into lockdown over here, but look what happened right after. Like in the middle of December, like we were all locked down, but look what happened with price here. It just kept shooting up higher and higher and higher, right? So I wouldn't really necessarily base it off the COVID news. The COVID news will actually help price move because it's going to affect certain, you know, assets within the US 30, not even just US 30, but like everything in general. So I wouldn't necessarily say that market's going to be slow because of the COVID news. The COVID news will actually be beneficial because people are betting on the market, right? Like when COVID news comes out, people are going to bet, oh, the market's going to go up, the market's going to go down. And it doesn't matter where the market goes because we're scalping it anyway. So whether it goes up, whether it goes down, we'll catch moves either to the upside or to the downside. We really don't care how the market reacts to stuff. We just want to catch, we want the market to actually move so that we can catch those scalps in between. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that, Dima. I think we'll be good regardless because we're not really. If you're trading intraday, then yeah, it's a different story because you know you're waiting for the trades to move. But for us, we're just looking for these quick little movements so that we can hop into these trades. Let's see. No, Stanley, that was right here. That was 2020, bro. Right here. This is the drop I was just talking about. See, COVID happened right here, March, right? But look from March. This is March 2020, Stanley. March 2020, COVID. This is when we went into lockdown, right? March. What happened during the entire year? I know you weren't trading with us, so you weren't really following with us, but we were trading during this whole time. This is why March last year we had such a big year because, or a big month, because we just kept buying. Every time price dipped, we just bought and kept going up and up. Or even right here, every time it kept dropping, we just kept selling, and we made money this way. We made money this way. No, it's the same thing. This right here. This is from March. See how price went up? Price dipped a little bit right here, but then it kept going up higher and higher. Right there. Let's see. Nick's asking, what's the best source for Forex news? I just go on Forex Factory. This is probably because it's like it's not really based off any like big companies. It's like an independent site. So right here, this is usually where I go for my news. Forex Factory, and then I also use TradingView sometimes whenever there's stuff around here. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. All right, anyways, let's go back to the chat real quick. I'm gonna see if there's any questions. If not, I'm gonna start with our markup for the Forex bears. All right, we got everything over here. All right, let me just scroll up real quick. Hey, what's up, Trell? Happy Sunday. Yeah, no, definitely. Hope all you guys had a great weekend. I had a pretty like chill weekend. I wasn't really on the charts at all. It's probably why I wasn't answering any questions. And I was just, you know, chilling because we've been trading like every day. So it's good to have a break, guys. You guys don't have to trade every single day. I know some of you guys did trade over the weekend. So for you guys who did trade over the weekend, I looked at everyone's profits. Everyone did pretty good over the weekend. Like I was looking over here. So Sisuk over here took Bitcoin, a bunch of Bitcoin trades. He made about 2,210 over the weekend. So a lot of you guys actually trade over the weekend. Even Demo over here, dude, he locked in about 448. So homie over here, he was trading over the weekend too. He locked in some pretty good profit off Bitcoin, and then Sisuk locked in even more profit over here as well. Is this the same thing? Yeah, I'm gonna delete one of these. So I'll delete that. Steven over here as well. He took some US 30 trades this evening when the market just opened. He made about 125. Alan over here took some NASDAQ trades, US 30. He made about 5,000 this evening. So you guys can see there's still trades to be taken. You guys can still make money off the market, even though the market's moving slow, as long as you guys actually get stuff and you guys actually are, you know, applying the strategies properly. Dave over here as well. He locked in about a couple of $1,000 or like 1,875, I guess. He traded silver. So he did the scalp strategy off silver, made some nice profit off that. I'm just gonna delete this right here. It's a copy. But yeah, everyone did pretty good. Even my Bitcoin profit was on accident. I mean, at least you profited, bro. That's the good thing. Yeah, so Demo over here, this dude locked in pretty good, even though it was an accident. It's good that you locked in some profit. Demo said, I thought I was taking it on demo, or forgot to switch to live. Forgot I switched to live. That's a good accident though then. But no, it's fine. Like even if I was to scalp Bitcoin, I would just buy it. Like I would, I would buy the dips. That's pretty much how I trade Bitcoin normally. I don't necessarily trade it actively like you do, but I would, that's exactly how I would trade it as well. So I just see US 30 probably consolidating for the rest of the night. And then it's probably going to shoot up eventually as we enter a London session. So let's go to the chat real quick, see if I missed anything else before I continue. Yeah, so Chris said, so US 30 might not have any entries tonight. We don't know yet, Chris. If we do, if the market starts to pick up, like I mentioned earlier, then we'll have like some scalp entries. If not, then, if it's just consolidating within here, there's probably not going to be any entries because this range right here, like we want a range of at least 500 pips, right? If you look at the range right here from market open, it's only been ranging like 400 pips, not very much. You're not really going to be able to lock in very much profit taking these smaller trades. I mean, you can, it's possible. Like, as you guys can see over here, a couple people did lock in some profit. Steven locked in some profit. It wasn't like a crazy amount, but he locked in a couple $100. And Ellen over here, he took some bigger positions, but he locked in some pretty solid profit as well. So he caught that like right when it opened. So I think he entered right here. Yeah, he caught the gap right here. And then he just caught this all the way down right here. I mean, it was risky what he did, but he still locked in some pretty solid profit off that move right here. As you can see, is US 30. He took a sell. He locked in 4,328. So personally, you could trade if you have I'm not sure if you have the indicators, Chris. If you know the strategies and you can apply it yourself, you could take the trades. But I personally am not going to do it myself because I'm just, there's no point in me risking to make a couple of wins early in the week. I know I'm going to make some wins in the middle of the week. So there's no point in me risking it early on. But if I do see something, I'll call some trades for you guys. Here, let's see real quick. Stan, we've been using the same strategy for gold for like the past 2 years now, bro. I'll go over it later. That's you've been sitting in all the sessions, Stanley. You didn't see how I analyzed it like the past 2 weeks that you've been on, because I analyze gold every single day. I'll analyze it again for you just to show you it's the same process every single time. It's the same thing we do for any other asset. There's nothing different about analyzing gold versus analyzing Forex versus analyzing US 30. It's the same thing. That's what I've been trying to tell you, right? I've been telling you that you have to actually understand what we're doing here so that you actually know how to trade and you're not just entering like random trades and, taking L's, because obviously what we've been doing for the past 2 years, it's been working. But, if you want to keep doing what you're doing, that's cool. But, if you want to learn how to trade what we're doing here, like these moves right here, we marked this up since April 1st and we were waiting for it to break. As soon as it broke right here, that's how people made all that profit right here, because they bought when it broke. They hit their TPs right there. And then right now it's currently running as well. So I'll reanalyze this for you, but it's going to be the same analysis that I've been doing every single day. Nothing's changed. It's been the same thing. And that's pretty much how everyone else over here locked in profit off, off of gold the past couple of weeks. Let me see if I could find people here who did trade gold with me. Let's see, like Funky over here, she took these gold buys right here. It's the same strategy we've been doing for a long time now. Like they take the entries in both directions. They take it for the sells right here, and they take it for the buys in the other direction as well. They take the sells right there, and it's the same strategy. It's the same thing I've been going over pretty much every day. There's an entry there. We just wait for the break and close past the structures. So I'll go over that later, Stanley, after I'm done answering these questions. This will probably be the first thing that I'll go over, and then you can. You should be paying attention to everything, Stanley. Stanley said, I never paid attention when you did gold because I never was interested in gold. I mean, you should be paying attention to everything, bro. It doesn't matter if it's gold, doesn't matter if it's Forex, doesn't matter if it's US 30. You should still be paying attention because, if you're just sitting here and trying to copy every trade that I do and you don't know what we're doing, you're obviously not learning anything, right? And if you don't learn anything, you're just going to be lost this whole time because you've been lost. I thought you were listening this whole time, bro. But yeah, no, I'll show you how I went over it, but you should definitely actually start to learn and not just try to copy all my trades, because you've been copying the trades, but you haven't been knowing what's going on. So like, you wouldn't know when to exit the trade. You wouldn't know when to enter the trade. You just be confused each time. And that's not how you should trade, right? Because obviously you want to know what's going on, or you're just not going to be successful long term. Because if you just keep copying my trades, I've already been warning you guys that like my signals are going to go away eventually. Like, there's so many people here who are locking so much profit on their own, just trading the strategies, that I'm more focused on teaching people. I don't want to like keep pulling trades for people anymore, because it takes up too much of my time, and it's just, I'd rather have people actually learn the skill than learn how to hit buy and sell, right? Because anyone can hit buy and sell and make profit with me, but I'd rather teach you guys how to actually do what I'm doing here. So anyways, let me go up real quick. Adam, yeah, I'll take a look at gold first. Since a lot of you guys want gold, I'll be looking at that first. But other than that, I think that's it for right now. See, Nick said a valid buy signal for US 30. Yeah, this would have been an entry here if you were applying, Josh's 3-minute strategy. But like I was mentioning, it's not something that I really want to enter just yet, because the market's too slow. Yeah, no, Stanley said, pay attention to US 30, 100%. Not just copying, but I feel, yeah, no, Stanley, I'm here to help you, bro. I want you to actually learn this stuff. That's the thing. Like, I'm not here to like, I'm not here like, telling you what to do, but I want you to actually learn this stuff, because, I don't want you to be lost and wonder, why we enter trades. Because it's really simple. You guys can see everyone here is making profits trading on their own. And I actually want you guys to actually pick up the skill of like, so when I'm like talking about stuff and I'm taking trades, you guys already know the trade's coming. Like, everyone here, when I like mark up a trade here, like for example, if we see this right here, is this seen from today? Yes, it's from today. So like, I think this is what Alan took today. Actually, Alan took the sell. Remember the one he won over here? So this one right here, he took that sell. I'm pretty sure this is the one that he actually looked at, because if you guys are familiar with Josh's, or we're just going to call it, the K2 US 30 3-minute pivot strategy. So like, I mean, just looking at this here, you just want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal, 2A, confirm signal is breaking and closing below K2 pivot 3 and 4, or 2B, confirm signal is below K2 pivots for a sell or above for a buy. So I mean, if you guys knew this, this strategy right here, this could easily been the entry for you right here, because you confirm a valid K2 momentum signal right here. We have a valid sell signal. Next, you confirm whether the signal is breaking, closing. It's not, so we avoid 2A. We confirm the signal is below for the K2 pivots for a sell. It's below it, so you enter a sell right there. And that's pretty much how you would enter this trade. I think during Sunday, or even like Asia session, we usually go for a smaller move. It's like I think it's 10 or 15 pips, or 10 or 20 pips. I think about 10 is a sweet spot, I think. So it's about like 10, and then the stop loss is around 20. I know it's a negative risk to reward, but this usually hits. It has a high win rate. That's why we're able to do that. So like, for example, right here, if you took this trade, market moves slow, but it still would have eventually hit right there, right? So I don't know what Alan took. So let's see his entry here. I'll mark it up actually, so we can see how many pips did he actually catch off that. So 34,085 minus 34,076. So he only caught 10 pips. See, he caught 10 pips right here. You guys can see the calculation. He only caught this move right here. He caught this little move right here, but Alan made 4,328. See, if you guys know the strategy here and you guys aren't just copying, my signals and stuff, then you guys could catch this on your own. Because I didn't even catch this trade myself. There's some of you guys that catch trades right when the market opened, and that's exactly what Alan did over here. He took a buy for NASDAQ, took a sell for US 30. He's up 5,000 for the week. It's only Sunday night. So, this is basically what he applied here. You can see the price. Let me see what price did he enter from. Obviously, the pricing is going to be a little different here. 34,085. Yeah, so obviously the pricing is different here because he's trading on MT4, which the broker price is different. But this is pretty much where he entered the trade. I'm trying to see what time did he enter. 4:33. Yeah, it seems like it was around this time. So I think this is what he took here. So if you guys learn the strategy, or if you guys are new here and you guys want to learn the strategy, it's still available to you guys. Just go on the website, k2trades.com, go to K2 strategy course right here. And that's how you guys can get access to the strategies and to the indicators. We're also having a mentoring session tomorrow, I believe. It's going to be between me. Well, I'm going to be there. I don't know if I'm really going to be teaching. It's going to be, Josh is going to be teaching. Mark's going to be teaching. I think Patricia is going to be teaching. So a lot of the K2 students are going to be teaching other students, and I'll be there to moderate. I'll probably be answering questions too. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to learn this, you guys can sit in on the session tomorrow, or you guys can just sit in on any of the sessions that I have, and you guys can learn from me as well. So if you guys looked at this here, there's a bunch of entries that were actually available here. Like there's another one right here. So right there, that's another one right there. And then again, right here as well. Right there, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys took any of these sells here, they're all like wins right here, right? This is when the market opened. Let's mark it up. So market opened right here on the 18th. That's when the market opened. If you took any of these sells here, see, they all fit the requirements. Valid sell signal, it's below the pivots. Valid sell signal, it's below the pivots. Valid sell signal, it's below the pivots. They all would have won if you guys took these entries right here. This would have been a buy right here. I don't know if, I mean, actually, technically, if you took this trade here, it would have won too. Looks like all these trades are actually winning right now. Or actually, no, it's currently, it got close to hitting TP right there, but it didn't. But yeah, I usually don't trade on Fridays. I mean, on Sundays because of just how the market's moving, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you guys can see obviously the trades are hitting today. It is Sunday. I'm not trading myself, but if the other people here who are trading, they're still doing pretty well. So yeah, Tommy over here, he had this marked up right here too. So you guys can see people are trading. It's not like, even though I'm not looking at those pairs, Tommy over here, he marked up NASDAQ right there, dude. He would have hit full TP if he took it. Looks like Rick over here too. Look at Rick. So Rick took these sells here. He actually took these. He took 3 sells right here. So Rick actually took the ones that I just went over right here. So Rick over here, he took these 3 trades right here for sells. And those are the 3 sells that came up right here. 1, 2, 3. And look at Rick, all straight wins, right? He made 172, 72, and then 232. So nice work to Rick as well. He's up 455 for the week. It's only Sunday night. So as you guys can see, people in K2 are all doing pretty well, even though I'm not calling trades. So yeah, other than that, let me see. Steven said, I tried the pivot strategy, but I feel like I still don't understand it. Yeah, I think you 100% don't understand it, Steven. So don't take those trades on your live account. Because here's the thing, Steven, you showed me your trades. Let me see. Yeah, you showed me your trades here. You asked me if this was a sell for the pivot strategy, but this isn't even the pivot strategy, Steven. So I don't think you understand like any of the strategies yet. So I don't think you should take any of these trades on your live account. Take them on your demo for now if you want to practice. But I don't think you understand any of the strategies yet. And that's just being straight up, me being straight up with you, because I don't want you to lose any trades, because you're not even on TradingView, bro. You can't apply the strategy on MC4 because there's no, you don't have the indicators on here. Like you were looking for a trade here. You said if the next candle touches the bottom, then we enter a sell. And you sent this at about 6:30, so about 2 hours ago. Yeah, I think you were looking at this one right here, right? This wouldn't have been an entry because it doesn't fit any of the requirements. So I think you should hold off, Steven. Don't enter any trades yet, unless you actually know what you're doing, or take them on your demo at least. Don't take them on your live, because I don't want you to lose any money. Taking trades that you're just not you're not familiar with. Yeah. So this is a markup that I made earlier before the session started. I didn't take this trade, but I was marking this up as a tester to see if it would be a valid entry. So I wouldn't, I personally wouldn't enter any trades right now. It doesn't seem like the market's ready just yet, within this specific time period. And I'd probably just wait for it to actually smoothen out. Let's see. So Steven said for a buy. Yeah, there were no buy entries here, Steven. So I don't think you understand the strategy at all. So I don't think you should be applying it just yet. Practice it on your demo, but don't take anything on your live, because there was literally no buy entries today. they were all sells right here that all hit TP. Yeah, practice a little more, Steven. Actually, like go back and watch the videos because there were no buys here that were available. So I'm not sure. And you have to do it on TradingView. I'm not sure why you're doing it on MC4 because you don't have any of the indicators on here. Vags is asking, is the K2 indicators free? Nope, they're not free. You have to pay for them. So if you want to have access to it, if you just want to learn the strategies, you can go here and get free access. But if you want the actual indicators, you'd have to sign up for a subscription to have access to them. Steven said, when I took scalps, I entered the buys. Yeah, I don't see any buys here, Steven, for any of the pivot strategy. Yeah, I mean, even if you're applying the original pivot strategy over here, Steven, there's no entries here that are available either. So if I turn on all the pivots here, there's literally no buy entries here like the entire day. Even this one right here wouldn't be a valid buy because it wouldn't fit the requirements. So I'm not sure if you're confusing buys with sells. I don't know if your colors are inverted or, I mean, we would have to talk about that, Steven, because I'm not sure how you're getting that confused. I mean, there's like literally no buys here. Like, you know, if you're applying the pivot strategy, the original one, so this is a 3-minute strategy here. If you guys are familiar with the original pivot strategy, this is going to be the K2 pivot strategy. So first you just, and we talked about this on Friday, Steven. So I'm not sure how you got it confused because I literally went over the whole strategy with you step by step. So you want to confirm overall trend using the K2 pivots, right? That's like step number 1, Steven. There's like literally no buy trend here. There's no uptrend at all. This has been a downtrend for the entire day. So I'm not sure where would you find the buys here. Unless you just have them opposite. Like if you think buys are sells and sells are buys, that might be the case. But there's literally no trend here for an uptrend. For 2, you want to confirm a retracement, right? So looking at the retracement right here, Steven, price comes down over here. And the retracement's right here, right? So price comes down. We have a retracement right here, right? So this retracement's upwards. So that would be step 2. Step 3, confirm rejection off K2 pivots area. So looking at this here, or I mean, this wouldn't even be it right here. Your rejection would be down here actually. So it comes down here. The retracement happens from down here. Oh, sorry guys, I'm so confused. This was when the market opened actually. So let me just go over here real quick. So price comes down from here, right? Because this is when the market opened on Sunday. Steven's talking about a trade today. This would be the downtrend. This would be the retracement from this area. This would be the rejection right here. So that'd be number 3, right? Confirm rejection off K2 pivots area. That'd be the rejection. And then lastly, you would confirm a valid K2 momentum signal, right? So once you have that right there, you confirm the overall trend. It's trending down. You confirm the retracement. There's a retracement right here. Confirm the rejection of the K2 pivots area. The rejection will be right there. And you confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Right here, we have a valid sell signal. So from this point right here, you take that sell, and that's how you'd hit your TP. Yeah, there's like literally no buys here because it's been in a downtrend since market open. So I'm not sure how you identify that as a buy. If you want to be a little more detailed with your response or like, you know, with how you found that, I can probably help you. But I mean, you were completely off, right? You're like 100% off with that. So I just want to make sure that you're not taking actual trades when, you know, the strategy is pretty simple. Like you just look at the overall trend, prices below the pivots are angling down and they're spread out. It's a downtrend, right? When it's an uptrend, it's like this. When price is above the pivots and they're spread out and angling, this is an uptrend right here, right? I don't understand how you found an uptrend anywhere over here. And I'm just being straight up with you, Steven, because, you know, you've been K2 for like a couple months now. So I'm not sure how the confusion came up here with the uptrend. Unless you were looking at this right here. If you're looking at this here, this still wouldn't be an uptrend because, you know, you'd have to wait for the pivots to be spread out and angling upwards. Right here, they're still crossing over. So this is actually just consolidation. It's not even an uptrend right there. Price is just consolidating within this this area right here, right? So if I took everything off, like there's obviously no uptrend there. It's just consolidation. So, you know, go back and watch the videos, Steven. Go back and watch the videos and actually practice. I feel like you haven't really practiced enough. You're just trying to hop into trades right away. Because I mean, first and foremost, you know, identifying the trend, that should be your main focus. If you can't get this right, go back and look at different, examples to see how, because obviously it's really clear, but if it's down here, that's a downtrend, right? If it's up here, it's an uptrend. When it's up here, this is an uptrend, right? Price is above the pivots are angling up and they're spread out. So if this is still confusing for you, go back and take things step by step. Go back and look at examples and make sure that you can identify the trend, because identifying the trend is going to be your first step. If you can't do that, you can't apply the strategy at all. So go back and do that first, Steven. And then once you're done, looking at that, you have that down, then you can start looking at trades. But I think as of now, you should probably hold off on applying it yourself until you actually get these steps down. So let me just delete that. And I'll just go back to what we were doing earlier. So let me just scroll up real quick. And I think that's it for the questions right here. Let me see. All right, looks like we're cool. Let me see if there's any questions, any other questions. No. All right, cool. So we're done with that right now. So hopefully that helps, Steven. I'm not trying to point you out, but yeah, no, definitely if go down the steps, Steven, because if we go back to our messages, I gave you every single step, right? If you don't understand the first step, focus on that first, get that down. Once you get down, then move on to the next step, because you need to actually understand each step, and they're very simple. Identifying the trend, identifying a retracement, identifying a rejection, and then the signal. That's pretty much it. So let me go back to US 30 over here. There is okay, gotcha. So Steven said, I see what happened. Yeah, if you see if you're actually understanding your mistakes, that's good. That's a good sign, because you want to actually understand what you're doing wrong so that you don't make those mistakes moving forward. But anyways, I'm going to go back to US 30 if I see something later. Right now, there's not really much going on with US 30. You guys can see here, I marked this up when we just hopped into this session. So I think this is just going to consolidate. If you guys join the session early on, I marked this up. I said price is probably just going to go sideways for a bit. And then I think during London session right here, it's going to start to shoot up. Reason for that is because sentiment is very low. It's 76% short. So I think it's going to keep, going in that direction. So other than that, let's go down the list here. So you guys wanted me to look at gold first. So I'm going to take everything off here and I'll show you guys how I analyze gold, right? So I'm going to zoom out from this point. I'm going to do everything from scratch so that you guys can see my whole thought process in all of this. Zooming out from here, this is a naked chart, right? The first thing I'm going to do is identify market structure. By doing that, I'm going to turn on the K²SR indicator, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw my zones. So for you guys here who wanted me to analyze gold, this is pretty much how I do everything from start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my market structure right here. That drawn up. This right there. Actually, let me just fix this right here. Whenever these things overlap like this, I just create one big zone. So instead of drawing a bunch of zones right here, I'm just going to create one big one right there. Another one right down here. Another one below. And that's it. Once I have this drawn up, there's my my market structure. So looking at this over here, look at this over here. You guys can see where price started to break around, right? This is where I can chop up price. Like from this point, this is when I can start to mark up market structure right here. So if I draw this from this point right here, you guys can see this is market structure for when price was in this area over here, right? So price pretty much broke into the structure. It came down, tested this low, and then it came back up, and it just went, back and forth until it broke structure. As soon as it broke structure, this would be the new market structure down here. So if I go and just draw this from this area, actually, this has been market structure for a long time. So looking at this point over here, let's see. Yeah, we could actually draw it from this point right here. So if I took off this zone right here, you guys can see that this was market structure from February 26th up until March 17th, right? Price broke structure, came back for retest right here, then it came back to test the lower structure right here. From this point, bounced off it, then it came all the way back up. So as you guys can see, if you guys have the indicators, you guys can draw market structure, and then you guys can chop things up to focus on like what's important right here, right? So if you guys remember my analysis from April, I think 1st, yeah. So from April 1st up until April 15th. If you go on the YouTube channel and watch all my live streams every day, we analyze gold every single day, and we were waiting for price to break and close either above here or below here. And the reason for that is because this was market structure for us right here, right? We had price break above. Let me just keep this, yeah. So we had price break into this area. It came up, tested this area, failed to break it. And then from this point, it came down. We were waiting for price to either break below or above this point, right? And then when price finally broke above here, this is when people took buys last week. So if you guys were following us last week, that's pretty much how everyone made profits. So if I go over to, when was it, the 16th? Yeah, the day before that, I think. It was when everyone was taking all the buys for gold. So 15th right here. I mean, this is everyone's profits from that time. But all last week, everyone took the buys when price finally broke the structure right there. Let me see, what date was this? The 15th, yeah. So the 15th right here, you can see Shawn over here. He took buys for gold, right? Because I called the buys off that session. So we took a bunch of buys right here. He made about 688. Who else took some buys? Yeah, Rick over here took some buys as well. He made a lot of money off this, 2,517 off these buys right here. Like everyone, literally everyone took buys. Shawn took more buys here. Dave took buys right here. And that was because we were waiting for price to break and close past the structure, right? So when price broke and closed past the structure, everyone took buys here and it was just a frenzy. You know, everyone just made profit off that right there because that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for price to break and close past that area. And if you guys are familiar with the K2SR strategy, it's the same strategy we've been applying for like 2 years now. It hasn't changed. And I'll go over it right now. So looking at this here, I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. So if you guys are familiar with the K2 SR zone strategy, it's really simple. There's only 2 requirements to it. So you confirm a break and close past a K2 SR zone, and 2, confirm direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. And at that, enter on the open of the following candle. So this strategy is extremely simple. You know, looking at this here, well, just looking at this entry right here. So I'm just gonna take this off. All right, so looking at this right here, if I zoom in from this point and I just rewind to there, or not there actually, when price finally broke that area. So the first requirement, we want to confirm a break and close past the K2SR zone, right? So for right here, price broke and closed past the structure. That's requirement number 1. Requirement number 2, confirm the direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. So right here, we have a buy signal. So we're only looking for buys at that point. With that said, you enter a buy entry right here. And if you let that run, there it is. It's currently still running a full TP. But if we go back over here, let me show you the other entries that have appeared since then. Again, looking over down here. So for this right here, it's another buy entry, right? We have a break and close past structure right here. First requirement, confirm break and close past K2SR zone. Number 2, confirm direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. So right here, we have a buy signal. With that said, we enter a buy right here. And then if you enter this buy, there you go, full TP, right? It's the same strategy over and over again. Again, over here, you guys can see that we have another entry at this point, right? Because price breaks and closes past the structure. So right here, we have a sell entry, breaks and closes past the structure. We have a sell signal right here. With that said, you would enter a sell because all the requirements are met, right? Confirm our break and close, confirm the direction of momentum, is sell signal right here. If you took that sell right there, delete this and delete this right here. If you took that sell right there, you let that run, full TP, right? It's really simple. If you guys learn the strategy that we apply here. And Stanley, going back to what you said earlier, because you were saying that, let me see, you mentioned earlier, sorry, let's go up real quick. So you're asking, yeah, is gold really that easy? People make it seem easy. I want to learn it. So, I mean, it's easy if you have a strategy to apply, but I mean, just because it's easy and it looks like, anyone can apply here doesn't mean that you can do it, right? And that's just me being real with you, bro. Like, it doesn't matter how easy it looks. Like, you see everyone here locking in profits with US 30. we're all locking in profits here, right? But you're like one of the people that's not really as consistent. Just because people are locking in profits and we make it look easier, because you guys can see people are making like 2,000 a day. Like Uncle over here, US 30. Like we make it look easy, but just because we make it look easy doesn't mean that it's going to be easy for everyone, including yourself, right? Like obviously everyone here is killing it. Like I remember this day, you were like asking why, how is everyone killing it? It's because everyone here applies the same strategy. We all apply the same strategy. The thing is, you're not applying the strategy we're applying. You're doing your own thing. And just because we're doing well with US 30 doesn't mean that like you'll do well as well. So don't think that it's going to be easy just because everyone else makes it look easy, right? And I just want to make that clear because I feel like a lot of people try to mimic what we're doing here at K2, but the thing is, not everyone's doing what we're doing here. We're doing our own strategy, and if you're doing your own thing, the results will vary. Like Jelon over here, everyone here is doing pretty well. Deswell over here made 7,000 trading US 30. We're all applying the same strategy here, but you're not applying the same strategy as us. So I wouldn't necessarily transfer like everything we're doing here to what you can yield as well, because you're obviously not doing the same thing we're doing. So just keep that in mind. But this is pretty much how I would trade. This is how I normally trade, gold or anything. It's not just gold. It's the same thing for Forex pairs, the same thing for US 30. It's the same thing for cryptos. It's the same strategy. It just gets applied all around. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my explanation for how I trade gold, how I analyze gold, and how I expect things to move. So like, for example, here, you guys were asking how gold was going to move. For me specifically, I think gold's going to keep pushing up because our move here hasn't finished yet, right? It's almost a full TP, but it hasn't hit it yet. So I think it's going to keep pushing up. Another confirmation that I use to confirm that it's going to keep pushing up is I'll look at the dollar index. So I'll pull up the DXY over here. In order for gold to keep pushing up, we want the DXY to keep going down, right? So if you guys are familiar with like basic fundamentals, gold moves opposite of the dollar. So if the dollar moves down, you're going to expect gold to push up. When the dollar is strong and it's going up, like for example, if the dollar is going up right here, then you're going to expect gold to go down because, like I mentioned, gold moves opposite of the dollar. So if you guys are familiar with how the market moves over here, when prices, here, let me just turn this stuff off so it's not all messy. All right, so when price is going up, that means that the first currency is stronger than the second currency, right? So when price is going up, that means the dollar is weak and gold is strong. Vice versa, when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. And that's going to continue on with the price going down. Looking at the dollar index right here, the dollar index is currently weak right now, right? It's a red candle right here. It's still pushing down slowly as we speak. So if it continues to push down, then we can expect gold to continue pushing up higher and higher. And that's kind of what we want to happen because some people still have this position open from last week. So that's pretty much how I analyze gold. First and foremost, I analyze the strategy. If the strategy lines up, then I look at the dollar index to see how strong the dollar is. And then I'll use that as a confluence to, confirm whether I want to enter a buy or a sell for gold, because that's basic fundamentals. But just keep in mind that fundamentals don't always play out. If you guys were following gold during COVID, it wasn't following fundamentals at all. So just keep that in mind. But that's a confirmation that I use, and that's pretty much how I analyze gold personally. All right, so that's it with that right there. Hopefully that answers your question. I think, let me see who asked for it. Yeah, so Stanley, that's gold for you. Adam as well. And I think someone else asked for gold too. Let me scroll up real quick. I think that was it. Yeah. All right, so that's it with the questions right now. The next thing I'm going to do, guys, like what this session was meant for is for me to go through the Forex pairs. I'm just going to go up and redraw these zones. So you guys saw how the first thing I did for gold here was I drew market structure, right? So I drew all this market structure. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go down this entire watch list right here. Well, just the Forex pairs. And I'm going to draw market structure so that we can start looking for trades. On top of that, if I see any trades for US 30 over here, then I'll call some trades for you. But, if I don't see anything that's good, I'm not going to force any trades. If I see something that looks really good, then yeah, I'll call the trade for you. But I'm not necessarily going to call trades just because we do have a trade that's running right here. It looks like it already hit TP actually. This sell right here. Okay, so this sell is still running right here. This is applying Josh's strategy. We haven't had like official requirements for it yet because we're still working on the strategy, but obviously, it's been working. This is the main strategy that people have been using lately for scalping. And this sell is currently running right now. There was a buyer here that was running as well. And that's why I didn't want to take the trade, because price is still moving back and forth. It's not necessarily moving directional just yet, because the market's still slow. So I'll leave that up right there. But for now, I'm going to go down the Forex pairs. I'm going to mark up the zones here for everything, so that we can start looking for some possible trades here. So let me just, I'm going to see if the zones are the same. So if the zones are the same, there's no reason for me to redraw the zones. So I'm just going to go down that first. Everything here looks like it lines up pretty much the same as last week. The only difference is that we have another zone right here. So I'm just going to add another zone right there. And if you guys want me to analyze any pair from scratch, just let me know. Put the pair in the chat and I'll analyze it for you. But since most of you guys here don't really care about Forex anymore, I know most of you guys just want to follow my my US 30 trades and US 30 strategies. That's where the main focus is going to be. Obviously, there's no point in me wasting time analyzing every single Forex pair here if none of you guys really care about it. Because I feel like a lot of people, the whole US 30 hype has pretty much taken over. And it makes sense, because we've all been super profitable with US 30, right? There's no point in us focusing on something that's not really important to everybody. But if you guys do want me to analyze anything, just put it in the chat, and I can analyze it for you. You guys can see here, it doesn't take me very long to analyze things. I can just pull it up really quick, analyze it for you, tell you what I think is going to happen, and then you guys can make your decision from there. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Odd and ZD is pretty much the same. It's going to add another zone right here. I'm just going to go through these really quick, because you guys don't really care about this anyways. This is mostly for me and for the signals, for our Forex signals. Because I still do call Forex trades, and I still take them on my own account. It's just not my main focus anymore, because I make way more profit trading US 30. So that's, it's pretty much my main focus for now. I'm probably moving forward for a bit until the market starts to slow down, which I don't think it will. I think US 30 is going to keep being our main focus for a while now, because if you guys are familiar, the Forex market starts to slow down in the summer, right? The thing with US 30, it doesn't really slow down. It keeps doing what it's normally doing all throughout the year. So let's see, nothing there. And I'm just going to mark these up first, guys. When I'm done marking this stuff up, then I'll start looking for some possible entries for Forex, but it doesn't really look like there's going to be anything for us tonight. Market's just too slow right now. All right. Solid. That's good right there. These. Yeah, so basically you guys can see here that the zones are, they're pretty much the same from last week, right? So when they're the same from last week, there's not really much for us to change. We just make small adjustments, or we just add new zones to the chart. And that's the cool thing about these zones, that the indicator pops up, because you don't really have to do much work. Once you have the zones drawn up, you can just update them every week or every couple of days. And then you guys can have perfect market structure whenever you guys look for trades. So I'll delete that. That's gone. That's good right there. Let's try another one down here. G over here. Let's see. That's good. So that's solid. EJ over here. Like that. Yeah, and like I was mentioning earlier, guys, if you guys look at the news, there's not really much going on this week, from Sunday up until Tuesday. So the Forex market's probably going to be really slow up until Wednesday, because with low news, that's going to equal low volatility. So with that said, we're probably not going to see very much movement for the Forex market anyways. up until Wednesday. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking to enter some trades here. So your USD right here, you can see how messy it is. From this point, I'm just going to delete everything, and I'm just going to draw brand new zones. And you guys can see it's not a big deal because once you draw the new zones here, it's going to make things a lot cleaner. And it only takes like a few minutes, not even a few minutes, maybe a few seconds to draw these zones up right here. And that's the whole point of these indicators, right? Like the thing with these indicators is I created them for efficiency because I don't want to have to go and draw my zones up every single day and then take me a couple hours to draw these zones. If you guys have the indicators, you can do it within a few seconds. And it just makes things a whole lot, it just makes things a whole lot easier. Because I've seen a lot of you guys draw zones on your own. Like you guys will be drawing zones for like hours, if not days, because you guys aren't sure exactly where to draw your zones, right? That's why I created this algorithm here to do it for you guys so that it can make things a whole lot more efficient, right? Because zones are really important. This is probably gonna be the most important thing when you guys draw stuff up. So you guys can see I deleted everything for your USD. I did everything from scratch, and we have some perfectly drawn market structure, right? From this area to around here. And if you guys wanted to chop up market structure, you guys can do that easily. So if like from right here up until like right here, you can see how price moved from that point. And then from here up to there, that's new market structure. Again, from here down from this point up here, that's new market structure. And then this is what's important here for your USD, right? So this is an example of what I was just talking about. So like, for example, here, if you're looking for entries here for your USD, you're just waiting for price to break above here or below here, right? Or even from this point, you can catch it right down. But that's pretty much why market structure is important, because it makes all the difference when taking trades in the right direction or in the wrong direction. So that's it for your USD. Let me go over to GA over here. Zoom out from this point. Just want to make sure everything is proper. If it is, no point in me, changing anything. So there's just another entry, another zone right here. It's a GJ scalp. Here, let's see. This zone right here changed, so I'm just gonna delete this. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this right here. So we're in a couple entries over here. Let me check real quick. Yeah, nothing much. It's going back in between these Forex pairs and US 30. So nothing there. GCAD, almost done, guys. So if you guys are getting bored with these Forex pairs, we're almost done. All right, nothing there. GCHF consolidating currently. GJ. I'm just going to delete everything, guys. It's a lot of stuff. So sometimes when I have mentoring sessions, I draw a lot of stuff up right here. That's probably why you saw all those drawings right there. That's probably the last mentoring session I had on Friday. That's why it gets a little messy, but when it does, it's fine. I'll just, it's easy for me to go and just redraw these zones. It just takes a couple seconds for you to go and just pop up these indicators and draw up these zones for yourselves. All right. You guys can see that. See, I drew up the entire market structure within like less than a minute. There we go. Perfect market structure for GJ. On to the next one, GN. Let's see. Update this one right here. I think that's it for that. GU. Some nice entries here for GU that you guys took last week. Lots of full TPs hit. It's done. Intensity CAD. So one more zone right here. Intensity CHF. Pretty solid. Delete those. Redraw this. All right, almost done, guys. We got like 4 more pairs left. Hang in there if you guys are still here. This is just as tedious for me as it is for you guys to be sitting here and watching me draw these zones up. Like, I really don't care to draw these up, but I know a lot of you guys still do trade Forex. That's why I'm doing this for you guys here. Eventually I'm probably just going to give up Forex altogether. Because like the thing with Forex, guys, is it still works, but it's just the market. It's not a market for like intraday trading Forex right now, because the market just moves too slow, and there's not really that many good entries that we find very often, because it's just back and forth, right? It's a lot of consolidation. The only way you can really make pretty decent profit on Forex is if you take a pretty big lot size. I mean, you can still make profit, don't get me wrong, but comparing the profit from what we make daily on US 30 compared to what we make off Forex weekly, it's just, there's no comparison. It's just no reason for us to really, well, for me to focus on it really. But I still trade this for you guys, because a lot of you guys here still do trade Forex, and I don't mind helping you guys with Forex, because these strategies still work. It's just that it's a boring market, and a lot of you guys don't really care about it anymore. Let's delete everything off this, do this from scratch. So UJ. Cool, it's UJ. That's it. All right, so we're done with these Forex pairs. All right, so let me just go down these Forex pairs real quick, and I'll see if there's any entries that I possibly see. Actually, let me go down the chat real quick, see if there's anything that I'm missing before I continue on. So let's see. Steven said, I see what happens to rejection. Has to happen after retracement. Yeah, that's correct, Steven. Rejection is after retracement. That's going to be step 3. And you shouldn't be entering at retracement. You should be entering at step 4. So Steven, you pretty much missed the entire strategy if you're entering at retracement. There's 4 requirements. You didn't even make it past the second requirement. So I think you should definitely go back and actually learn and practice that strategy first, Steven, because you don't have it down yet. If you're entering at retracement, you just skip the entire strategy. You only look for the first 2 requirements. You didn't even wait for the second requirement to finish. So, Steve, my word of advice is to go back and keep practicing. You're not going to learn this overnight. So don't expect to like be a master at this like soon enough, right? Especially for you, because for you, like, it might take a little longer for you to get things all in order. But once you do get it down, Steven, it'll be a lot easier. Just go back and practice a little more. Yeah, so your question here, you asked how many candles need to be considered a trend. In order for it to be a trend, so here, let me just show you again real quick, Steven. I just want to make sure that you're actually getting this stuff, because, I don't want you to lose any trades because you're not like getting the bare basics down. So let me go over here real quick to US 30, and I'll show you what I mean about the whole trend thing, right? So let's turn this off, momentum indicator, turn on the K2 pivots. So, all right, let me just show you real quick what I mean about the trend, Steven. So looking at this right here, just being clear, Steven, if you turn off the candles over here, you can tell that stuff is not really smooth, right? Like things are starting to break apart right here, but you can see that it's starting to build a trend, right? If you move it forward right here, see how price is above the pivots. When price is above the pivots, so for example, when price is above the pivots are angling in the same direction upwards and they're spread out. This is going to be considered an uptrend, right? So if you were able to identify this as an uptrend right here, look what happens from this point, Steven. A strong push up, right? That's how you identify the trend. Vice versa, if you're looking for a downtrend over here, like you don't want to, like if price is going sideways like this is obviously not a trend, right? It's just going sideways, it's consolidation. So this isn't going to be a trend. This isn't going to be a trend right here because price isn't really angling upwards and spread out. Vice versa over here, if we go back to this point right here, or even go to the previous candle over here, actually we'll just go from here. All right, so we're looking at this right here. You can see that price starts to continue to go down, right? So obviously if you go down over here, you'll see that price retraces up a little bit, but I mean eventually right here you can see, so if you turn off the candles, you can see that, oh, so for example, here, price is below the pivots, right? If you turn off the candles and you see the pivots are angling downwards and they're spread out, like, you know, just right here, just looking at that. You see how the pivots are angling down and they're spread out? That's going to be a downtrend, right? If you turn this back on and you follow through, it continues to drop even further, right? Because it's in a downtrend. So I think your main focus right now, Steven, you should probably just go step by step. But if you don't understand how to identify a trend, that should be your first step. Practice identifying trends. Because like, for example, here, it's not that difficult, right? You see price when it breaks above. Price is above the pivots. Like I mentioned, if you turn off the candles, you can see prices starting to cross, right? You don't have to enter right there. But as soon as you see this, like it starts to angle upwards like that, and you know the candles are above the pivots, this is going to be a start of a nice trend upwards, right? So if I turn this back on, see how the trend, it shot up really nicely. It's a smooth push up. That's an uptrend right there. So if you want to, like, I think that's your first step, Steven. You should go to step 1 first, master the trend, like master identifying the trend. Once you do that, then you can identify the retracement and rejection. But I think first step is going to be identifying the trend. So go back or maybe learn a different strategy, Steven. This might be a little too complex for you. I know it's really simple, like it looks simple, but I think for you specifically, it might be a little too complex. So maybe you should just learn something else that's a little more easier because we have a lot of strategies to choose from, right? If you go on the course here, Steven, there's like 8 strategies you can use. If this isn't for you, it's just not for you, right? Just look at something else that's a little bit easier for you to learn. And then over time, you can start moving to the more complex strategies, even though it's not very complex. I mean, for you, it's probably gonna be complex for you specifically because you're just not even getting, you know, the first step there. And that's just me being, you know, straight up with you because I don't want you to be wasting so much time on one strategy when it's too difficult for you. So if you go here, Steven, on the course, there's like, let me see how many strategies there are. There's one strategy here, the intraday strategy. This is like literally you just match 2 colors, right? If you can, if you're not colorblind and you can match green and green or red and red, and I'm not saying that as a joke, but I'm being serious. If you're not colorblind and you can see green and green or red and red, this might be the strategy for you. Because literally for this strategy here, you don't have to know anything for this strategy, bro. You just know how to match colors, right? If you can match green and green, like if you can see green, right? A green signal and you see a green trend meter, like bro, you just take a buy there and you have full TP, right? This might be something that you might like because it's very, very simple. It's really hard to mess this up. If you want to start off with that, I just want to get the ball rolling, Steven, because you don't know how to trade at all. So I want you to actually learn how to do at least one strategy, and then you can start advancing through the strategies, right? That's the intraday strategy. The momentum pullback strategy, it's the same thing, but you're looking for opposite, right? So for the momentum pullback strategy, instead of looking for green and green, you're looking for red and green. Like I mentioned, if you can just match colors, then you can succeed at this strategy as well. That's my goal with creating all these strategies, right? My main goal here was to make things easy so everyone can trade, trade properly. So like, for example, right here, it's red, it's green, right? You enter a buy entry right there. It fills your order, full TP, right? So if the pivot strategy is too complicated for you, Steven, you might want to go and try to learn something else because you have options here. I just showed you the intraday strategy. You match green and green, right? If you can match 2 colors and that's all you really need, you put your stop loss at the previous swing down here, about like 73 pips or something like that. And you let that run. I mean, it ends up hitting your TP right there as well, right? So that's the intraday strategy. That's momentum pullback strategy. There's a ton of strategies here that you can actually learn, Steven. So like, the scalping strategy right here, the snipe strategy, that's simple as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strategies here you can learn, Steven. So if the pivot strategy is too difficult, and that's like the last on the list here, so that's probably too difficult for you anyway. So just go up to the easier ones over here, learn these first, and then build from there, because you don't know how to trade at all yet. So I want you to actually pick up, from basic to intermediate to, I wouldn't say advanced, but like, a little more difficult than intermediate as you go. So yeah, Steven, that's pretty much, my advice to you if you're not getting the pivot strategy. So let me go back to your other question here. Your other question is, it's too late to go in for the sell. I wouldn't enter the sell, Steven. These are all risky trades. So don't enter these trades today because, we already talked about this. I don't want you to blow any more accounts. I want you to actually take trades that are actually solid and the trades that I'm taking. If you're copying all the trades that I'm actually taking myself, you should have no problem passing your FTMO and staying or being profitable in general. Because if you guys follow everything that I personally do, I'm a very careful trader, so I don't really take trades that are too risky. And your other question right here is US 30 going to be slow on Tuesday? No, US 30 is going to be different from the Forex pair, Steven. US 30 is always going to be somewhat busy during New York session. It's a different asset compared to Forex. Forex is an all-day asset. It moves slow because there's no news going on. There's nothing really pushing price up or down. But US 30 is a different asset. It's a top 30 stocks. The stock market's always moving every day, so it's not going to move similar to the Forex pairs. So I think that's it for that right there. Now I'm going to go down these Forex pairs. I'm going to start looking for entries. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat now. Otherwise, once I'm done analyzing all of these pairs over here, I'm going to probably call it a night. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning for the actual trading session. This session was meant just for me to draw these zones for you guys so that you guys can identify market structure. And then from there, we're going to look for some possible entries. But if we don't see any entries, then we're just going to call it a night. And I'm going to be back tomorrow morning for the actual trading session where I'm actually going to be trading. So I'm just going to go down these real quick. Odd cat, there's no entry here. We have a sell momentum, but price needs to break below the structure down here in order for me to take any sells, right? So no entry there. If we do get a buy signal right here, like something like this, you can see when price broke and closed past the structure right here, and we had the buy signal, then I would take the buy right there and then write that to full TP, right? So for example, right here, if we get a buy signal over here, then we can take that buy and then write it up, right? I'll probably write it up to here. I probably won't go for that full move because we don't want to catch the rejections as price moves along to the next zone. So if we get a buy signal, then yeah, we'll take the entry. If not, then we're just gonna wait until market to fully open tomorrow. So I'm gonna be looking out for that right there. We still have 45 minutes left on this candle, so there's a lot of time for us to figure out whether we want to take this trade or not. So I'm going to keep that marked right there. Nothing there. Same situation for all these Aussie pairs right here, right? If you took this trade here, this would have hit TP, but we're looking for it to push up for a new entry today on Sunday. Same here with odd NZD. We want price. So for example, we have a buy signal right here. What I want to happen is I want price to break above here or above here. So like right here, if there's a buy entry, if price breaks and close past there, I could take a buy right here, right? If price ends up breaking and closing above here, then this would be a better trade because we could catch the buy from that point. And as you guys can see, this is the same pattern that played out over here, right? Price broke and closed past the structure. We had a buy signal right here. If you took that, let that run, full TP right there. So that's what we're looking for right here, guys. As you guys can see, it's the same strategy that's just recycled over and over again. We're just looking for that same pattern to play out, and then we just take it. We just trade from zone to zone. It's really simple. It's not that difficult, and it's consistent. So that's the main thing. It's consistent and it actually hits time and time again. So that's what we're waiting for there. No entry there for odd NZD. Nothing here. Possible entry for here if we get a buy signal right there. I'll keep looking out for that. Let me see if there's anything else here. CAD CHF, nothing there. CAD JPY, nothing there. CHF JPY, nothing there. Euro odd, nothing there. I don't want price to break and close past the structure below here before I take that sell. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. Euro CAD. I want price to break and close below here, then I'll take that sell. But at this time, nothing available right now. So as you guys can see, the market's really slow today because the market's not fully open yet. That's why we're not really forcing any trades. We're waiting for the market to fully open so that we can actually take some good entries. Like same over here. You guys can see that trades are starting to set up, right? So market's moving slow. Maybe by Monday, price will get to this point where it closes below here. Then we can take that sell. It's probably not going to happen until London or US session tomorrow. But if it does happen in the next, miraculously within the next 40 minutes or so, we can take the trade. But if not, we're not going to force anything. So nothing here, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, GN, nothing here. We want price to be above here before we take that buy. but it hasn't happened yet. GU, nothing there. NZD CAD, nothing there. NZD CHF. We have price breaking close below here, but like I mentioned, it is Sunday. So if we want to enter this, we could possibly enter a late entry right there. As price comes back down, we can enter a sell stop, and then we can catch it as it drops from here. In order for me to confirm this drop right here, I'd pull up the indexes over here. So I'll pull up the New Zealand dollar index over here, which is the ZXY. And then I'll pull up the SXY here, which is the Swiss franc index. And then in order for me to want to take this trade here for a sell, I want the Swiss franc to be stronger than the New Zealand dollar. So looking at these here, the New Zealand dollar is dropping while the Swiss franc is slowly coming down, but it's going to swing. It looks like it's going to swing back up, right? So if this becomes a case here where the Swiss franc pushes up and the New Zealand dollar drops, then yeah, I would take the sell there. I'd catch the sell stop right here and catch it as it rides back down. So I'll mark this up right here, but there's no entry available right now. Nothing for NJ, nothing for NU, UCAD, nothing here, but same situation. I want it to break and close below here. If that happens, then I'll take the trade and then I'll just ride this down. There's no zone here, so I can catch the ride down. The TP right there. I'm going to pull up the DXY over here, which is the dollar index. I'll pull up the CXY over here, which is a Canadian dollar index. Looking at this, the dollar index is coming down and the Canadian dollar is pushing up, right? With that said, this is probably going to drop because like I mentioned before, when price is going down, that's going to indicate that the second currency is stronger than the first currency, right? Look at the indexes right here. The Canadian dollar is strong while the US dollar is weak, right? So with that said, this is probably going to drop. So I'll probably call this as a signal for you guys today. We'll just call it as a late entry. So I'll just call that for you guys right now. If you guys want to take this trade, if you guys aren't in the premium, it's completely fine. But I'll just put this out there for you guys right now in case you guys want to take this trade. So it's just going to be a late entry right here. Let me just mark this up. All right. So we got this all set up right there. Screenshot right there. And this is pretty much how I would call this signal for you guys here. So looking at this over here, sell stop. USD CAD. And you guys can see like all the signals that I call here, this is exactly what I do, guys. It's not that difficult, right? I show you guys how I identify this entry, and that's pretty much it. It's not that difficult at all. It's literally just it's a checklist. All right, so full TP is gonna be right there. 1.5 pips. There's TP2. All right. There goes the first trade for this week. So that's pretty much the first signal right there. Obviously, we had the entry right here. This is the entry that I actually identified. What I'm doing here is just a late entry because I see the retracement right here, and I anticipated to come back down. So we have a sell stop right there to catch as it comes down. So as it comes down right here, that's where we'll catch this trade. So let me just go ahead and copy this again and make sure everything is exactly the same. There we go. All right, so there's the first trade for this week. I'm gonna go ahead and set my alerts so that we know exactly when trades are going to be triggered and when TPs are gonna be hit. So I'll put filled for that. So I'll set up right here. TP1, 12, TP2, 25. Oops. Oh, my bad, guys. I got these mixed up. Let me just edit this real quick. My bad, guys. Let me just fix this real quick. There we go. Well, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. If you guys are wondering how do I call these signals here, you know, and we have such a high win rate, this is literally the only strategy I use for the Forex trade. So if you guys want to learn this, I mean, you guys can. It's not that difficult. Literally, we're just waiting for price to break and close past the structure. We're confirming the direction of momentum right here. We have a sell momentum, and then I use this as an extra confirmation that, you know, the dollar is weak, the Canadian dollar is strong. So with that said, I anticipate price to come down even further from this point. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys want to learn this, like I mentioned, I'm here to teach you guys. I want you guys to actually learn what I'm doing here so that you guys can do it on your own. And that's part of the bigger plan here with K2, guys. So if you guys remember what I've been talking about for the past couple of months, my goal with K2 is, you know, I'm teaching you guys this here now, and in the future we're gonna basically move K2 towards like the prop firm type company, where, you know, the people who learn the K2 strategies, they're gonna be trading for K2. Like, we're gonna front capital for you guys. You guys are gonna trade it, and then we'll just have a profit split from there. A lot of people like to compare it to FTMO, but it's not going to be like FTMO because we're not just letting everybody trade for us. You guys have to be K2 members. You guys have to be masters at this already. Because obviously, if you guys see here, all the profits that everyone's locking in, you guys can see that people are locking in like thousands of dollars a day, right? Applying the K2 strategies. So the thing is, when K2 moves towards a prop firm stage of, you know, the company, basically we're going to be fronting the capital for you guys to trade. And you guys are already killing it, right? You guys are locking in thousands of profits each day. So instead of us, you know, instead of us having to trade for ourselves, we're just going to have you guys trade for us. And then we'll just have a profit split. You guys keep percentage of the profit. We keep percentage of the profit. And we just keep teaching you guys how to get better and better each day so that I don't have to do any actual work, right? I'll just pretty much be teaching you guys how to do stuff because I enjoy doing this anyways. I like teaching you guys. And then I want to make sure that you guys keep killing it every day, because the more that you guys win, the more that I win, right? We all win. It's a win-win for everybody. And that's why I'm gearing towards, you know, I'm shutting down the signal service in a while, and I'm gearing towards just training you guys because I want you guys to be masters at this trading thing. Because I've been doing this for like 11 years now, and I don't want to trading. Well, I mean, I still love trading, but I don't want to have the pressure of having to trade every day, right? I'd rather make you guys great traders, and you guys can continue to trade 4K2. And I can continue to just, you know, keep on sharpening your guys' skills, because that's basically what we're looking for here. We want people that actually want to learn. We want people to be consistently profitable long term, because the more that you guys win, the more that we win, right? It's a win-win for everybody. If you guys win, K2 wins. And if K2 wins, then we're all happy. So that's pretty much what we're going towards with K2, guys. If you guys have been following me for the past couple of years, you know, we started off with signals. I don't really like giving signals anymore, but I just gave you guys a signal here, using the same strategy that I've taught you guys. And, you know, from that point on, that's going to be the timeline for K2. We went from a small company to signals to education. And then now we're moving towards a prop firm stage where, you know, the K2 members who've been in K2 for a while, the elite traders within K2, they're going to be trading for K2. You know, we're going to start our own prop firm and whatnot. It's not going to be like FTMO because not everyone can join. Whoever is really good at K2, that's who's going to be our traders, you know, our most elite traders within K2. So it's going to be exciting, guys. You know, it's going to be exciting, and I'm going to be here to mentor you guys, you know, from the start to finish. I want to make sure that you guys are profitable, because if you guys aren't profitable, K2 is not going to be profitable. So I have to make sure that you guys are really good at this. But yeah, other than that, let me see if there's any other trades here. I think that's it. So I did call USD CAD over here. I'm going to keep this marked up right there. And that's pretty much it. I think that's all that I see for now. I don't really see much going on for US 30 right here. It's just going sideways from now. Let me just draw this right here. It's just consolidating, right? If we go back to the 10-minute over here, it's doing exactly what I mentioned, right? Price is probably going to bounce off this point, come back down, consolidate sideways. And then once we enter lens session over here, that's when it's going to start to actually move. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for today. I think that's it. I don't see any other questions here. Let me check Steven. Steven said, so intraday strategy, I only need one trade. Steven, go and practice the strategies. Just go practice, Steven, because your questions here they're just irrelevant. Like you're asking, so intraday strategy, I only need one trade per day. I never said you don't need one trade per day, Steven. I just showed you the strategy, but I mean, you're just really not getting it, bro. I think you should go back and practice. Don't focus on like on taking shortcuts, right? Because you've been trying to take shortcuts like for the past 2, 3, like maybe 4 months now, Steven. You've been trying to take shortcuts and it hasn't been working for you, right? So don't take shortcuts. Like actually learn what we're doing here and actually get this stuff down. Your other question, if we don't have any good scalps for US 30 tonight, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, definitely, Steve. I'll see you tomorrow morning. But meanwhile, go back and practice because you've only been practicing for like one day. So I don't think like you're even like, you haven't really learned anything yet. So keep practicing, Steven. And, go ahead and send your examples to me if you have anything. I don't think you've sent me anything yet. Yeah, you haven't sent me anything today yet. So keep practicing, Steven, and I'll keep trying to help you. But don't take any trades on your live account yet, okay? Don't only like just practice on your demo or practice on whatever else that you need to practice on. But I think other than that, I think we're done for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram. I'll keep looking at the charts for the next 30 minutes because we'll see if there's any other entries that are available. But I personally don't think there's going to be much tonight because it is Sunday. But yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. So if anything, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning and we'll be back for the live session on New York Open. So other than that, guys, reach out to me on Telegram if you guys have any questions. Oh, Funky, sorry. So I just see Funky said, sorry, can we look at AUD/USD and CAD JPY? So I looked at them already, Funky. There's nothing here to take. Right here, we need that buy signal in order for us to take that. There's no buy signal here. If the buy signal does close, then yeah, you can take the buy here, but there's no entry available for it yet, right? We have a sell momentum here. So in order for us to take a sell, price needs to break below here. But price is way above there. So there's no entry available yet. If we do get the buy signal in the next 30 minutes, then yeah, you can take the buy here for AUD/USD. But at this time, there's no entry for AUD/USD. Same with CAD JPY. Let me go over here real quick. CAD JPY, same situation here, Funky. It's just consolidating right now sideways. So depending on how this closes, if this closes with the sell signal right here, Funky, we need price to close like way below here. The Forex market's just moving way too slow right now. There's no entries that are available, but we need it to close below here to take that sell. Vice versa, if we have a buy signal, we need it to close above here to take that buy. But until that happens, there's just no entries that are available just yet, Funky. So you can keep following it, but I don't think we're gonna have much volatility from now until tomorrow, or maybe not even until Wednesday, because if you look at the calendar over here, Funke, there's nothing going on today. There's nothing going on tomorrow or on Tuesday. So what could happen for CAD JPY is this might just go sideways for a while. The only thing that will really push this, if there's something really crazy that happens with COVID within the next couple of days, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. But if there is something that happens, then yeah, it'll probably push price down because the JPY is a safe haven currency. So if the world's going to shit, obviously, money's going to go towards the JPY and the CHF, the Swiss franc. But other than that, there's not really much for us to take right now, Funke. That's pretty much all that I see for here. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's it for tonight. If you guys have any questions, just reach out to me on Telegram. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys here tomorrow morning for the live trading session. So thanks for showing up, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend and you're well rested, but be ready for our live trading tomorrow.